Tough match as we anticipated. Complex, very unfortunate to concede in the first minute. Now we have to come back, but I thought we exerted ourselves very well after going down 1-0 in the second minute. I thought we were in control, scored a good free kick. I also thought it's a game that we were going to win, but unfortunately we had the red card. It's never easy to play 10 men, and one must commend the character, the personality, the commitment from our team. Going one goal up while we were one man down. It took its toll, bad defending maybe in the second goal and the equalizer for the opponents. But having said that, a result that we all did not want, but still the commitment, the effort from our team, that one we can't question. One, happy with the performance, but the result, I'm disappointed.
Good afternoon or good evening, Coach. I hope you're well. Very unfortunate, as you said, on the result. But Coach, let me just take you through a trail of events for Orlando Pirates today. The goalkeeper, Ofori with the second goal. Maybe you might say a bit of, not good positioning. Last weekend, he also had a bit of a mistake. Last season against Maritzburg as well, Coach. Do you think that this is a player that really needs more support than more players at Pirates? Because I think, his mistakes has been a bit, questionable. And I think you should know more than me, Coach. This is Orlando Pirates Football Club, and possibly he might need assistance away from the pitch. Thank you.
Differently from your thoughts, I thought today didn't make mistakes. The second goal, I wouldn't portion the blame to him. And remember that the header bounced in front of him before and it was played in the far corner. In fact, our defensive structure, we allowed the half cross to come in. Maybe there was 3 defenders and there was only 1 attacker. And for us to fail to deal with 1 attacker and there's 3 defenders, I think it's not his fault in this match. Maybe our defensive structure in that sense was not proper. But having said that, Ofori is back. I thought today he performed well. I didn't see a lot of errors. Maybe I'm looking at it in the eyes of being a coach and being with him in the club. But I don't blame him today.
Hi, Coach. Mark Stradom, Times Live. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. It's hard to see off TV, but it definitely seemed Hotto was at left back, Hlolani ahead of him. It was really interesting. Steve Barker mentioned that after they scored, you guys were coming at them, especially the overlapping wing backs was making it difficult for them. Was that the thinking, Hotto attacking from deep, adding numbers to the front line, a lot of options in your movement up front? And then it seemed to get derailed a bit when obviously you had a player sent off and that plan that you had just seemed you couldn't apply it as much. And with Nyahuza, all players make mistakes. It was quite an unnecessary red card, but will you have a word? I'm sure you have a word with him. Thanks, Coach. 2 parts.
I think Otto for me was my man of the match. I'm not even sure who was man of the match, but today he performed above expectation. Great professional performance. Otto gives us a different dimension. But again, the club is so unfortunately in a position right now where we've got lots of injuries in our main players. But now the depth and the wisdom of our team in having such a big pool of players allowed us to have these multifunctional players where you play Otto a striker in the previous match. You can play him wide, depending on the formation. You can play him as a left back. That's the beauty of having players that are like ours, multifunctional. But today the plan was exactly what you said, that Otto must give us that width, but from deep. And it was working well until that unfortunate incident. But with Nyahuza, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the incident from where I was sitting. I'm not sure whether the red card was given for the first incident of the elbow or it was given for stamping. And my view, if it was for the second, I don't think it was deliberate. Maybe if he says it's the first one, then I'll understand. But for the second, he was trying to put his foot down. But I'm saying it as a coach of Pirates, and maybe the ref has got different eyes.
Sawona Mandla, it's Andy from Media More. My question is, having mentioned a lot of injuries in the squad, when are we likely to see your new signing, Untako Makubela?
He just arrived. I think he's 3 days into the team. He must follow all protocol and processes of our club. He's still in that process. We're not sure about his fitness because I'm sure he hasn't trained with his previous club for quite some time. So he's still in that process. I cannot exactly say when can we expect him, but we will all love to have him. The sooner, the better.
Hi, Coach. Masabe Klina here from Stokaladuma. From everything that you have been working on during the pre-season, Coach, and looking at today's performance of the team and the performance of the team from the previous match, would you say, as the technical team, you are satisfied with the progress of the team, or are you still seeing a room for improvement in terms of the upcoming matches?
Like I said earlier, it's so unfortunate. I don't think there's a club that has an unfortunate scenario like ours, where you have a Ben Motswari injured, you have a Monare injured, you have a Lodge injured, you have about 10 players out. So one, you were preparing with them, all of a sudden we have to change, and we can't run away. All of a sudden, a change in leadership. It unsettled the team a bit, but I'm happy with the progress that we have made thus far. I thought today, in my view, if we didn't lose the men, I thought we were in control, and I thought it's a match that we could have won. I also felt the players imposed the Pirates match on Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch was sitting deep on the block, which is what we expected until that incident. But I'm happy with the progress, but wait until we have our full complement of the team back. I think there is more to come if we have everybody back, without disrespecting the players that have played today with all the commitment that they've shown.
Thank you, Sis Tandy. Spear from Frontrunner. Coach, your thoughts on Goodman Musele today, and at halftime, I believe you subbed Kabelo Dlamini for Vincent Bule. Was it a technical substitution? Thank you.
We had to react on our feet. It was a tactical sub because we knew that the opponents had the edge now of numbers. So one, we wanted fresh legs without Dlamini having played bad. But we wanted to try and change the formation a bit, tweak the formation, and still have the capacity to get behind breaks. I even thought the plan worked. Pule had one opportunity. Maybe we would be saying differently if he took the chance and he scored. But I thought the plan was based on what had happened, and it was just a tactical substitution.
Musele,
we didn't substitute. He played and finished the match, and I think he had the best game, unless if I'm confused by what happened. But I think he played from the beginning till the end, and he had a super game.
Thank you. Coach, I think you were just trying to ask in regards to your thoughts on Musela, how he played, just before I ask my question, Coach.
My apologies. Musele, top. For a player coming from another club, getting a starting lineup, or not only the goal, the performance and the ability to attach into our tactical discipline and getting man of the match. For me, I'm really proud of him. And there is still more on him once he understands, but he's a very good player, and I'm really happy that he performed the way he performed today.
Thank you, Coach. I just want to go through, Coach, maybe possibly, if you allow me, the last 7 days. Obviously, the result against Swallows was not good, and a couple of days later, the coach had left the club. How has the players been emotionally, Coach, and also considering the preparation for today's match and how they played? How are they, emotionally and mentally as well? And secondly, Coach, when you arrived at Pirates, you said, you've got a buffet of players, and today you mentioned that 10 players are out. On a lighter note, do you think that the buffet is a bit short? Thank you.
My brother, we've got enough. If other teams were to be in the same position as Pirates, where they've got 10 injured players, I'm sure they'll request the league to cancel their fixture. The sign that we played the way we played today, and the effort, the performance. For somebody who doesn't know, I don't think you saw that there were players that were not there. And the wisdom of our management to bring the pool of players that they've had, they will surprise you. I don't want to disclose much because I don't have that permission. Don't be surprised if it increases. Don't be surprised if it decreases. But I'm happy with what we have. I'm happy with the wisdom of how they sign the players. And let's take it from here and move forward. On your first question, unfortunately, there's no measure where you can measure how the players feel. But our responsibility was to try and put everything in perspective, that we worked with a professional from Germany who allowed me to work with him. Good for the club, good for me. When that has to change, we had to try and speak to the players, which we did. And based on today's performance and how they trained, I thought they accepted whatever has happened in a good spirit, without taking away that we worked with a very good professional from another country.
Coach, it's David from Mediski Times. I just wanted to find out quickly, Coach Zimba obviously left on Monday, and we've seen you and Coach Padlu Davids on the sideline. Is there anything, that you can tell us about, what the club told the both of you? Is it an interim solution? Will we see you guys longer on the sidelines? Thank you.
A good question, but wrong person. On the lighter note, the wisdom of our team, we're just working like we were working before. There's nothing that is new that we have been told. We have the responsibilities, me and Fadlu. We're not working together for the first time, so it makes it even easier. So it's just like that. Until told otherwise, this is how we're working, and we're sharing the responsibilities very well. And I'm happy with working with Fadlu and the contribution that we're making and the respect that prevails between the two of us.
Yes, Masego.
Thank you, Sister Tandy. Coach, when you arrived at Pirates, you were quoted as saying that you were gonna be able to assist Thulani Hlatshwayo in terms of his performances. We know he's a player who has been under pressure, being criticized for the way he performed last season. So far, what have you made of his performances, particularly after today's match? Thank you.
I think there's great progress. You can even see that how dangerous we are on set plays, which is his part. I don't think he defended badly today. There's improvement. I haven't seen the full match to really scale him versus the expectations. But from where I was standing, I don't think he had a terrible game. It was a fair game, and it's a process. He'll improve from here. But I'm still happy with the progress that he has made thus far.
Thank you very much, Sandy. Coach, I think, to be quite honest, with all due respect to your previous club, Golden Arrows, Coach, for you personally, what has changed? What is different? How does it feel being at Orlando Pirates Football Club, your day-to-day? Just quickly, briefly, on about you joining Pirates. How is it going, the pressure and so forth? Are you dealing with it? Are you okay? Thank you.
Dangerous question, in the sense that any response from me will either offend Golden Arrows, my previous employer, and it's not in my nature to respond, because any response, and Pirates, my current employer, if I show any likes on Arrows, why didn't you stay at Arrows? So I always avoid to offend the parties that I've worked for. And out of respect, my brother, please, take it in good spirit that I wouldn't want to comment on that, because any comment, you'll either quote me of having criticized Arrows, or Pirates will be offended by my response, with due respect.